Hello, this is Tammy with Autistic Wiki, and today is April 7th, so day number 7 of the 30 days of autism. Okay, so anyways, so today was a wild card, so I can choose any topic, even though I wrote all the topics, so I'm still choosing all my own topics. So today I'm going to talk about autistic superpowers. So this one is one that kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit. I can see it from both sides. So autistic superpower is kind of this idea that people who are autistic have like these super abilities. So some people who are autistic have the photographic memory. I think it's called didactic memory or something. So some people have photographic memories, or some autistics have like this like crazy, super realistic drawing ability. So there are some people who have just crazy, insane, good skills that they get, whether that comes from autism or whether it comes from something else. But there are some people who have like some savant type abilities. But the people who have those are pretty rare. Approximately 1 in 10 persons with autistic disorder have some savant skills. So it's a pretty small subset of the autistic community that has these savant skills. But a lot of people, when they talk about superpowers, I think a lot of people are just kind of talking about the normal symptoms of autism, and they find a way to see the good in it instead of the bad in it. So that's a good thing. I do support that. Perhaps an example of this is one time I wrote a blog post that was called "I'm Not Autistic in the Words." And what I mean by that is really the only time I feel autistic. Autism is really a diagnosis that talks about my difference in relation to the general population, the general public, the normal people. So when I'm not around normal people or not around general public, I don't feel autistic. I just feel normal. I just feel right. And one way that I feel right would be if I'm out hiking in the woods. Suddenly my ability to smell things from a mile away, not literally a mile, but from a super far long way, is useful because I can smell people coming long before I can see them or hear them. I can smell when there's a water brook coming up before I can hear it. It's just my senses are better. So in normal everyday environment where the lights are too bright and sounds are too loud, when I'm hiking in the woods, all of those senses suddenly make sense. Suddenly all of these senses are useful and they just make sense. It just feels natural. It feels normal. It feels like like we were made, like I was made to be there, and it makes me wonder if maybe at one time this was our normal senses, because it would make sense when we were living a more wild life that we would have these senses. So that would be something like I could go around and saying this is my autistic superpower, is like when I go hiking I have an advantage over neurotypical people because my senses are heightened. So I mean, I don't have a problem with people saying it when they're kind of like talking among friends in an autistic space, and it's just kind of understood that it's kind of tongue-in-cheek and not being taken seriously. My concern is that people are going to start using it as a way to justify being here. Disabled people or different people who are different in some way, they often feel obligated to justify why they deserve resources in the world, why they deserve, Why do they deserve this job over somebody else more able-bodied? Why do they deserve to have accommodations? Why do they deserve to have medicine in time of needs? Why do they deserve to have everything, right? And my concern is that by one way of justifying the right to be here is to say, well, yeah, I have a superpower, so that makes me useful to the tribe. I'm kind of thinking in terms of back in our ancient history when we were like living in, I don't know about living in the cave, but when we were living in small clan groups and whatnot, and everybody mattered. So being a weirdo like me might not be very useful to the clan unless I can say, hey, I have a superpower and I can help us out, and maybe there's some part of us that feels like we need to justify ourselves by having the superpower. It makes us feel more like we deserve to be here, and maybe we can convince others that we deserve to be here. And the problem with that is that we don't all have superpowers. Being autistic does not give you superpowers. So I don't think it solves the problem where some people think that we don't deserve to be here. Or think about how can we get the neurotypical world to accept us as we are if we kind of train them to think that they should be looking for superpowers in us. Because then when they find out that 90% of us don't have superpowers, they're going to be really disappointed. So, sorry, I don't want to be a bummer about it. That's one that's always kind of rubbed me the wrong way, just because I feel like it just causes more trouble than it's worth to pretend that we have superpowers. I just really do. I want to try to end this on a high note, but I just can't think of anything right now. Maybe tomorrow will be better? All right, thank you.